What's up, and welcome to episode 25 of NCP. Colin, I think you'll be happy to know that that means we are now transitioning into the second half of the first half of our way to a century of episodes, which is
Oh,
very, very
nice.
exciting. But slight leak, I'm joined by the stat lord, Mr. Colin.
Certainly
Colin,
not the
how are
coach
you
for
doing
it.
other than Strikers results?
Oh, other than strikers, I had a great holiday weekend. Good.
Well, that's that's good to hear. And Colin had an idea for a new stream broadcast that we employed this weekend that went really well, and I'm excited to hopefully be able to do that in the future. Just because I think for the people who were there live, it was a noticeable difference. So very happy about that. We also have MLT here. How you doing, Ham?
Doing pretty good. Big Hit Birdo had another good week, so I mean, can't complain about that.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. We really had only flagged BHB for her big hits, but I don't know if either of you have the stat sheet pulled up, but her goals per game this season is absurd. I think she is having the best Birdo season of all time. So
I think
more,
killed
more,
Birdo's off in season one.
Big hit, Birdo. 13 goals?
yeah. Is it 1.3 goals per game?
Jesus.
Yeah, no, crazy.
2.9 impact?
Yeah.
I didn't know Big Hit Birdo was like that.
Dude, big hit Berto is absolutely like that. Hamilton, do you have the stat sheet open right now?
Leader in sidekick goals per
I've got
game in
it
the
open.
MLS.
Hamilton, how many goals total does Koopa have in SPL?
Give me two.
Nope, still one.
Ah,
Still one goal in I think 29 instances, something like that. Either way,
9
and
goals in the MLS.
the fact that there are still, I mean, Koopa brings other
Tons of
value. I
mine.
get it, but the fact that there are still no Koopas in free agency, I would, if I had a Koopa, I'd be looking in the mirror just a little bit. Um, but let's go ahead and jump into it. I think we had a really good slate of games this weekend, just in terms of the quality of games. This first one, in terms of predictions, Hamilton and
I nailed
I,
it.
yeah, you did. Hamilton and I, and along with everyone else not named Colin, picked him, and Colin picked
Big
Jake.
prediction sheet.
Um, Colin, I'm imagining this. It didn't feel very good to be right in this case.
No. No. That I predicted in 2 too.
You did, yeah. No, you got
So
it perfect.
mean.
Don't worry, I got the dark green for you. Because I already know what his answer is gonna be, I'll ask you, Hamilton. Do you think that Colin is not only out of winning MLS and getting the instant promotion? Do you think he is out of the race for the top three?
he's a full in my mind. 3 games back. I'm aware that it's not a full 3 games, but it could very quickly become a full 3 games. And
Yeah.
we've got 5 games left.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd say no, just because four really the top four are really bunched up. And so some of us are going to have to drop some points eventually. And if Colin can string together some wins, he can very easily make that comeback. Um, I wouldn't say anyone's out of it in the MLS right now, out of the playoffs until they're mathematically eliminated. I think it's close.
I think that's fair, but um, the odds have to be really not in Colin's favor. Like,
Oh, I mean, if I was a sports book, I would not be giving anyone money for Colin missing playoffs. But um,
I mean,
but
it's
I think
I
I think
think
it's
you're right that it's too early to say it's impossible. Mostly because he still plays every other team. Like the results could flip theoretically and play out in like this way, just in reverse. That is a possibility, if not, something worse. But it is gonna be tough. Colin, right now, do you have any ideas or prospects about something that can redeem your season?
I have thrown out what I thought was four very good lineups and one mediocre lineup. The four very good lineups have netted 1 point, and the one not even mediocre, I thought it was a bad lineup, also netted 1 point. So I got nothing. I have no idea.
Reed,
If I was the owner of the team and not the coach, I would have fired me to look for a spark.
Reed, give this man the did. You're doing nothing with him, and your team will be better without him. You don't know how to utilize the kid. Um, but no, I think that this was the roster you ran this week in theory is really strong. I don't know if I've ever seen this, but this is kind of like like the best team from last season. And still could not get the result against Terio's Disciples, albeit a new look. Terio's Disciples. Um, Colin, do you think that Jake has a fighter's chance of getting into a promo spot?
I don't know. I do know for a fact that his main goal this season was to beat me. Um, as that's the text I received after the game. So his sights just might be set on getting fifth. We'll see what happens for the rest of the season. What is his roster?
I
Where
mean,
is
we're talking about the Koopa goal drought in SPL. The Koopa MLS goals would be significantly lower if Jake's Koopa did not exist. Man
Yeah.
is carrying the Koopa banner this season.
Let's see, what are the numbers? That he has Koopa 8, right?
I think he has Koopa
No,
3.
he has Koopa 3. The two pink colors confuse me. He has 6 of the 10 goals scored by Koopas this season.
And that's 6 of 9 in the MLS.
And yeah,
Which, to be fair, I don't know how many other
3.
people play their Koopas in midfield. Let alone he might be running a top midfield. So maybe something for people to take notes of. Sometimes it takes a rookie manager to innovate like that. But that took us to our next series, which I think was a very good candidate for series of the week. We had Toad and the Bros versus Plumbers and Pimer Maniacs. Hamilton playing back-to-back weeks of 1 versus 2, which was pretty exciting. So we had, I think, 3 or 4 of us in the call for this game, and it was an absolute treat as a neutral. Hamilton, what was this like as a manager?
I wasn't able to be in the call, so I was a little curious to know what the call was like. But as I was able to watch it, and going down in the first game was not what we really were looking for. I know we were up and then we went down, but in the end we lost this game. I felt like Bowser Jr. was mega striking non-stop this entire series. And I don't know if that was just anecdotal evidence, but that was just what I was feeling. And then in game 2 and 3, it was kind of the same deal where like I'd feel like I would finally be able to breathe for a second, and then Bowser Jr. would mega strike, or they'd score just a simple tap in, like such. But I felt like they would always just slowly work their way back in, and was excited that we got the result, but didn't really want it to be this close.
I think you're spot on. Like literally, like every game felt like you were in the driver's seat, and then slowly, Dave just like slipped his hands onto the wheel, unbuckled your seatbelt. Like it was just like slowly and gruelingly. And I don't know if I have the stat sheet open. I don't think this game. I think this game it was just a raw 3-goal comeback without mega strikes. But there was one game, I think it might have been here, maybe game 2, where you're spot on. I swear that was the most mega strike, at least attempts we've seen out of Bowser Jr. Period. Colin, is
Better have
that a stat that we are actually able to pull? I'm not asking you to pull it, but I'm just curious if you can get
Mega Strike goals or Mega Strike attempts?
Mega Strike goals in
Goals I
a
can pull.
series and or game.
That I can pull. This should be Bowser Jr. 1. Yes. In the series, he had 3 Mega Strike goals.
Which is a 1.0 Mega Strike goal per game, which is significantly higher than anything Bowser Jr. has ever done. He scores a lot, but his power up is useless for Mega Strikes. An even crazier statistical anomaly is we
His
saw,
career Mega Strike goals per game is like 0.42.
yeah, so bit of an anomaly. We saw on the screen there. We saw the second goal of the game, which was an egg shot from Birdo, and an insane statistical anomaly. A one in however many games we played chance of a double Birdo egg in one game. Never has happened. Don't know if it ever will. But that's BHB for you.
PHP
Probably
goes
now
crazy.
the leading egg striker of all time.
Birdo has
Colin,
11 total skill shot goals. History.
Colin, can I make a request?
Maybe not
And
including season 1.
you don't actually have to do anything to make this happen, but I just need it documented that it's mine. Big Hit Birdo has a walkout song now of Big Man Blastoise. If
Big
you
man Blastoise. Big
yes.
man Blastoise.
So I don't need literally anything to happen in the stat sheet, but just I need it documented that is mine from Big Hit Birdo specifically.
You can
you
play
are
that
Big Hit
next time.
Birdo.
Yes.
Hamilton's in the sim.
I'm her manager, okay? Like we gotta make sure that we're organized here.
Yeah, but super close series. It actually got a little bit scary at the end. Bowser Jr. had a star, brought it within 1 with 4 seconds left, and had a scream on the table, and then just didn't use it. But really great series. And I think it's really cool because it felt like so many of the games had stakes this week, which I think has a lot to do with the fact that we're like, well, we had it a little bit of it last season. We're being split into conferences, but it's a little bit different this year in terms of, being in divisions, where, this
Yeah.
has a very different feeling than any of the SPL games, which is really cool.
There's
Yeah.
a lot less mid-tier, mid-table games that don't really mean a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every spot has consequences.
Very true. And Hamilton and I, no, Colin and I nabbed that one. Hamilton off to a terrible start in terms of Preds. For game 3, we all got trolled by Reed. I don't think it was on any of our radars that he would be resting
Yeah.
this week.
I'm actually gonna document. I play Reed next week, and I went, oh, Reed's gonna run Yoshi this week, and then I'll get to run Mario against the Did next week. And I saw that he ran out the Did, and I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble now for this upcoming week because I got to go against Yoshi with Mario.
Yeah, that was definitely a little bit of brotherly rivalry looking at the schedule from Reed, which I don't know, Colin, I'll pose this to you afterwards, but I do kind of feel like this decision was a mistake where I think it's more important for Reed to hold a point lead over Garrett than it is to be trying to chase Hamilton at the top. I don't know if you feel differently, but I do feel like he should have ran Yoshi to try and keep Garrett back.
I will say the most important thing in the MLS is get top 3, right?
Mhm.
So I do agree with your point. Also, the only way to get 7 games out of your A captain is to go for the entire season 2-on-1 off, 2-on-1 off. The second you deviate from that once, you then lose a game of your A team and pick up an extra game of your B team.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens there, and down the stretch we might have a tough lineup for Reed in week 9 or 10 when he really needs a win.
Yeah. it could have ramifications. We had a very long talk in our tier list about where Reed fits. And I do feel like I think in the end we ended up separating him from Ham and Dave, and I think that's vindicated both in the standings and the results this weekend. But still, time for him to come back. But a lot of our argument was about basically him riding Yoshi into the sunset, and like Colin said, he now has one less game of that definitively, no matter what he does. But really was not close at any point. A monumental win for Garrett over his direct competitor. So things are looking a lot better for him. I know he was excited. And Luigi continues to look good forever. Next series, we had the trade-off of Eric versus me. I did not know the stakes where I probably should have ran Luigi out there because he ran Wario against me. But I don't think I have to say too much in terms of what this result meant for me. In terms of probably saving my season. If I didn't get any points here, I would have been cooked. And even one probably wouldn't suffice given other results that we'll go over later. So right now, Eric has a very interesting team where he has PD, Wario, 2 Boos, 2 Shy Guys, and a Birdo. Highlighted on the screen here. It's similar to Dave's, but different. He has, a PD instead of a Bowser Jr., and then he has, different sidekicks. Colin, since you have kind of been big on Dave's build in terms of, having 2 good consistent captains and, kind of prioritizing that over sidekicks, do you have that same level of faith in this Eric roster moving forward?
No, because sidekicks are important. And if you look at Dave, he still has. Well, I thought Koopa was good. His Koopa's been doing well. I like the Hammer Bro. Maybe could have one less passing captain. I think if I was him, I'd drop one of those Toads for the Monty available. But that's a Dave question. Eric, his sidekicks, I think, leave a little bit to be desired. 2 Shy Guys, 2 Boos, and a Birdo. Not really a whole lot that I would be scared of. And then he kind of gets stuck running some iffy lineups every once in a while. So, but I do like the fact that he has 2 good captains, and I think they're both Mega Strike, have Mega Strike potential, which means he's in every game, no matter what.
Yeah, which is big. And theoretically, it's actually an even stronger captain lineup than Dave's because of the Mega Strike potential of PD. Even if PD necessarily hasn't had the best season, certainly not as good as last year.
He's having a great season.
Yeah. And Eric's kind of in a weird fitness place right now. And just because he had a net negative fitness trade with me. But there are things that he can pick up in the waiver wire that could theoretically be helpful. And like you said, Dave could. There is a Monty available in MLS, and Monty's have been having a crazy season. But this was probably series of the week in SPL. It went down to the absolute wire. Let's see. I don't know if I'll be able to find the moment offhand, but Eric afterwards, said that he felt cheated. And he definitely had some chances here. There was one particular wind interaction, where as I pan around, I don't know. Here it is. Where very rarely do we ever see the ball hit the post at all, let alone post and go out. But Eric Shy Guy took a shot here, and if you look, the wind is blowing down on the screen, and probably is what brought it into the post, and it just barely hit it to roll across. Critter whiffs his dive here, which is pretty funny. That would have been insane if he hit it in. But tough loss for Eric, and we'll get into later on, what that means for him in terms of stakes for the season. But he'll be all right.
I believe we have a Danny in the call.
Oh, we
Maybe.
do?
Danny joined. He is muted.
He is muted.
If he has
Hello.
thoughts on the series.
Welcome.
Hello. Yeah, my schedule kind of opened up.
Let's
which is not
go.
usually around this time, but figured I'd pop in.
Welcome, Dan. I don't know if you have the Discord stream open.
I do. I was watching listening to the analysis just now.
Beautiful. Well, we are working our way through SPL results. We're not to you quite yet. We're not to you quite yet. We got one more
Okay.
appetizer we got to work through before we get there, which was the battle for the bottom between Come On Mr. Monty and Fredchester United. Massive stakes for this. You know, both teams wanting to ideally get it done in 2, but really needing a win, especially on Jacob's side. And I believe DK was 0-4 in games coming into this week for Jacob, which is mental, and got a little bit done. Ham, what are your kind of thoughts? I believe that puts DK 2-0 against Bowser Jr. this season. We talk a lot about DK kind of, struggling against high tier captains. Where do you sort of weight him in the hierarchy, especially compared to like Bowser Jr. and Wario?
I think there's some statistics to back this up too, but I think that it's really just like the Bowser and the PD that Donkey Kong really struggles against. I think he can beat a Bowser Jr. I think he can beat a Wario. And I can't explain why that the Bowser and the PD do so well against Donkey, but something gives, and so don't know exactly how that plays. I do think.
Go ahead.
Good. I do think that Donkey Kong is able to consistently defeat a Bowser Jr. I would rank him above Bowser Jr. and Wario.
I think that's fair. I think Wario is a little bit more debatable than Bowser Jr. because Wario has Mega Strike potential. And I was going to say my inference as to why what you're talking about in terms of DK sort of being worse than like the true S tier captains is Mega Strike potential. Danny, as the 2-time Bowser manager, is that what you feel?
Yeah, I think it showed in the playoffs last season that Donkey Kong is a really good captain. I mean, in the first series, you did beat me with Bowser, and then we had our second chance to play, and it went to 5. And I think truly what separated in the finals was the Mega Strikes. I think Donkey Kong just couldn't get him to go, and Bowser had him going. But in terms of playing like some of the captains that also have less Mega Strikes that we normally see from the S tier captains like Bowser Jr., Donkey Kong plays really well and kind of it gets a lot of those solo like in play goals just from the field.
Yeah. Colin, I'll give you a second to pull this, but what are Bowser's Mega Strike goals looking like this season? I feel like, it's.
Do you want tier 1 Bowser or overall Bowser?
We can do overall. I think,
My Bowser
Tuzzlefuls.
doesn't have that many.
Overall, Bowser has 10 Mega Strike goals in 24 games.
So less than 50%, which I
Yeah.
feel like is less than the previous 2 years.
And then Danny's Bowser only has 2 Mega Strike goals.
Yeah. So Danny's
So
vibes were spot on. But it doesn't matter. Danny doesn't need goals from his captain. He doesn't need anything. He just needs a team on
All
the
I
field.
need is Mark Lee.
Yeah. Which we'll ride that. So, Jacob got the win in 3 here. Big. Game 3, unfortunately, was not close. Freddie was done and dusted. But Danny, what the hell? Like we had an absolute garbage game. We had Peach in the did in almost mirror matchups of not. I mean, your sidekick's lineup is great, but I don't think it's optimized for Peach necessarily in any way.
No,
But
I don't think so either.
Danny, how the hell are you doing this?
I don't know. I thoroughly thought that I would lose this week and maybe get like a point because like I don't think this is a great lineup for Peach, but Peach opened it up early with a Mega Strike goal, and that I mean we just don't often see that out of her. I don't know what it is about the Dry Bones on bottom and Koopa in back, but they just play good defense all around. They just get the
No,
job
they
done.
don't.
And it frees Monty up to shoot. It gets they freeze Monty up to shoot, and then apparently Peach to shoot too.
What's the difference in goals against per game between Danny's team and Colin's team?
Yeah, I know that combo hasn't necessarily worked for Colin, but it's going great for me.
Danny's allowed 15. I've allowed 42.
Just a little disparity.
Yeah, a 1.4 goals against per game for Danny, which is almost a full one less goal per game. The next lowest is 2.3. So practically a full goal, and then Colin's at 3.2. So it is a chasm.
Over twice.
Yeah,
And
I think the Monty plays a big part in that rotation just because he hits a lot, and that kind of I think he hits a lot more than like a Hammer Bro hit. At least that's what it seems like. So I think that probably is a contributing factor. And then I mean my Monties have played out of their minds, so that probably doesn't hurt either.
yeah, Hamilton, how badly do you think you were hurt with the power of hindsight by having Sandtomb removed from the map pool?
Apparently, terribly. I mean, I can only imagine how great last season would have been if Peach is apparently undefeated on Sand Tomb. But you know, I'm happy that Danny's happy. I'm happy that Peach is winning. I'm sorry for everyone else in SPL, but you know, it's good to see the low guy win. Even if that little guy is also Bowser.
I mean, at this point, it's
But-
actually great for Danny to continue to win, minus this upcoming week.
Yeah, it probably helps everyone else out in terms of the the race to try and get into playoffs.
But it is crazy to have Peach be 4-0 in games and not even scoring a lot. just Danny just wins. No other way around it. But so standings after that, lined up for, we'll go MLS first. We had Hamilton's, Plumbers, and Pyromaniacs finishing up top. Dave's Toad and the Bros in second, 2 points back. Garrett's Control Alt Defeat tied at 2 points back at 10, just behind on goal difference, a pretty significant goal difference, which may come into play later on. Reed Hot Chili Strikers dropping down to fourth place, 1 point behind the promotion. And then Terrio's Disciples and Colonials tagging it up in the back. Last week you said that you weren't feeling very confident at the top. Has that changed for you at all, Ham?
I will continue to state that like until we get some more separation, I won't be like feeling secure. But I mean, back-to-back wins against the then number 2 team feels pretty good. We're starting to build a cushion in the goal differential department as well, which will be nice. Just got to keep on winning. We'll see how this week goes, knowing that I got to run out Mario, and Ree gets to run out Yoshi. So, in theory, that could have some major implications. But, in the end, we just gotta. If we keep winning, we'll just keep staying on top. Very simple formula.
It is kind of interesting with the schedule this season, where this kind of feels like a bit of a reset point. Where I was about to ask Hamilton who he played next week. And, you know, honestly, it doesn't matter too much just because, like, you now just play everyone else once. Like, there's no such thing as, like, having, like, a better or worse schedule, you know. I mean, it still exists, but it feels less weighted than it did, like, in weeks 4 and 5. Which, you know, we're hoping it's a pretty hard reset for our boy Colin, because he's struggling down there.
And I want this man to win so bad.
Look at those goals against.
It just hurts to look at.
Yeah, but I
Alright,
mean, you have
look, you
this.
win.
You have the same goal difference as Freddie, and I guess he only has
Yeah, but he has
three more
PD.
points. Yeah, and
I
he
played
didn't.
PD 5 games. And I'm
And,
running Daisy out there this week.
and he didn't draft Waluigi in the first round. Freddie,
Yeah.
Freddie has what he sowed. But for SPL, we've got spread triple option up top with 15 points. Goose Crusade now 4 points behind. I think in terms of thinking in games back, I'm gonna consider 4 points 1.5 games back, and then 5 and 6, are effectively the same. So Danny got a little bit of separation there, and then another pretty big gap with Flying Dutchman at 8 points, Super Ario Brothers at 6, Come on Mr. Monty at 6, and Fred Chester United at 5 points. So the bottom 4 teams all separated by 1 game, similar to how the top 4 teams in MLS are all separated by 1 game. Danny, just because I have heard these two guys' opinions too much, arguably, who do you have pegged at this point at the halfway? I guess I'll actually ask this to everyone. Danny, we'll start with you. What is your 1, 2, 3 projection for the MLS?
I think it'll be Hamilton, Reed, and Garrett. I think those will be 1, 2, 3. I think it'll probably be Garrett then Reed. I'm not a huge fan of the double Toad and lineup that was coming out from Toad and the Bros. I think against certain teams it won't do as well, but I think that's my 1, 2, 3 for that.
I think that's a little bit spicy. I think we'll get some disagreement. So I'm interested. Ham, what is your 1, 2, 3 at the end?
I'm gonna be biased and keep myself at 1. But I do think that it's gonna go Toad and the Bros and then Red Hot Chili Strikers.
Okay.
You know what? No, I want to throw some spice in it. Toad and the Bros and Terra's Disciples.
No, that is dripping in spice. That's like Thai hot or Indian hot at the restaurant. Colin, will you be being
only
biased?
1 game back though.
Yeah, that's true. Colin, will you be being biased in your projections?
I can tell you that I will not predict myself to be in the top 3.
Who is your top 3?
I think. What do I think my top 3 is? I think that Ham will definitely be in the top 3. Whether he's 1, who knows? But I think he will be in the top 3. I think Toad and the Bros should maybe deviate a little bit from their name and drop a Toad, but I think they'll be in there. And I like Garrett's team, but he does have a tendency to choke when it matters most. But I'll keep him in third. Reed's gonna have to run Diddy out 2 more times in this back half. And Gary can get wins with the B team, so I'll keep him there in the 3 hole.
I will keep Hamilton up top. I am also gonna keep Toad and the Bros in second, and I'm gonna hope that Reed learns his lesson. And in his second go around, when he plays Garrett, I'm curious what week that is. That'd be sick if that's week 10. No, is that next week? When do they play each other? Am I blind? Okay, week 8.
Right there, week 8.
Week 8, I think. Yeah, there it is.
I'm going to wager that this result here will likely decide that orientation. And so I'm going to bank that Reed takes this as a learning experience and wins that, because I do think that Reed's A lineup is better. But, that was 4 people. I think we all had 4 different picks, more or less, maybe with a little bit of overlap, but really, really exciting. And we'll do the same thing in the MLS. In the SPL. In terms of top 3, who you think at this halfway point will carry it forward. Danny, who is your top 3 in SPL?
I will, like Hamilton, remain biased and say I'm 1. I think actually Austin will be 2. I think I just like the way the Mario played. I like the sidekicks he has for the Ario brothers. So I'm gonna put him up to 2 and have Eric at 3.
Oh boy.
That is a spicy take, but
Yeah.
that is what I'm feeling right now.
Eric's gonna have to crash. Ham, what you got?
I like Danny staying up top. The fact that he just doesn't lose helps with that. I will keep Goose Crusade in second. I think that they're actually. I'm gonna say Goose Crusade drops to third. I agree with Danny. I think that I think he's made a bad trade, and I think that he got in theory what is a good captain in Wario. Wario's been shit this season, and he really downgraded his sidekicks. And I think it's also just a matter of time before he goes for like a triple Shy Guy lineup. But I don't think he'll drop all the way out of the top three. I think it could be Mr. Monty flying up into second though. It's a season where he doesn't have to have as much care about the lineups or the waiver wire as long as he's like dealing with stamina, and the two good captains could carry him up.
Fair enough. I will say he is getting more DK run because he is not submitting lineups. I don't think he would have intentionally ran DK this week.
Yeah, would have.
So
Yeah,
and especially if he continues to not submit lineups, then that'll only trend more in that direction. Colin, what's your top three pick?
I think Danny stays at one, obviously. I don't think the question is, does Danny win the league? I think it's, does Danny somehow go undefeated? Um, I think two, I think Eric's going to stay in there. The PD Wario combo is good. His sidekicks need some work, but I think he's going to be in the top three. And I also kind of like Jaco to make a climb. We'll see if he locks in a little more, comes to some more streams or whatnot. But I like the team. Apparently, Mr. Mondi can do it from anywhere. He got stuck in defense this past week, and he was still slotting goals. So the guy's basically got three captains.
How many more Bowser runs does he has? 4 Bowser runs and 1 Peach?
Four Bowser runs. Wait, Bowser, Peach, Bowser. Well, he'll probably have to
The
throw an extra
stamina. I'm about to
Peach
say the
in
stamina
there
runs into
to have.
playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there you will see 3 more Peach runs and 2 Bowser runs out of me,
Probably
or
have to
3
throw in
Bowsers
Peach
and
in
2
though.
Peaches.
Yeah, you
Although
Looking
first
at my
place,
schedule,
yeah.
yeah.
it's probably 3 Bowsers, 2 Peaches. So you'll
Danny
see
runs
Peach 2
Peach
more
in
times.
grand finals because you just go straight into the grand finals if you finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll see 3 more Bowsers and 2 more
No,
Peaches.
4-1. Okay. Still, I think that puts the odds at him going undefeated for the whole season a little bit less, but still very much possible. I think y'all are tripping that Eric won't finish in second. I think his lead is big and his team is too good. Especially if you don't think Adam is going to steal the second spot. We're a full 2 games back. All of us in the chase.
You do still play Eric again though, so I mean it easily could become 1 game fast.
Yep, no, that's true, and I back my boys. Oh man, if it were anyone else in third, I would not pick one of the stragglers to make the comeback because it is Adam. That leaves the door open. And I am also going to be biased. I'm going to back my team. I like the way we look. But let's go ahead and get into the results that will be dictating that. Real quick on my second monitor because I did not prepare. I'm going to highlight those games and bring it over. But we are now entering the back half of the season. You don't have as much time and space to make a comeback, so it'll be very interesting. But we will be kicking off with Dave versus Jake. And I am just now looking at this, did not have time to think about that, but I do feel very confident in my pick of Dave here. I'm gonna go. Oh, that's great. I'm gonna go Dave in 2. Ham, what's your pick?
Just gonna give some people some information. Jake does have to run Peach, Birdo, Koopa this week.
I mean, as long as Koopa's out there, he has a chance.
That's a big Koopa.
Meanwhile, Dave is running Wario or Bowser Jr., most likely Wario, Hambro, Toad, Koopa. I'm gonna go Dave in 2.
Dave in 2. Will we get an absolute guarantee? Colin, what's your play here?
Dave in 2.
It goes into the podcast rookie's hands. Our absolute guarantee odds sit with you, Danny.
Yeah, go ahead and put that in Dave in 2.
We haven't broken out the orange highlighter, I think, since week 1, maybe 2. It's been a while, but Danny's calling for it.
Need to ask this question: who's running the stream next week? Is it Colin's sim or is it Austin's sim?
Or is it your
It's a
sim?
big question.
Or is it my sim? It won't be my sim.
I should be around, so probably my sim.
Okay.
Okay.
That's big. And the real question is who is left and right.
Dave is the left team, so
Well,
3 and 3
there's
on my
a chance
sim,
that
though.
that gets spicy. In
Yeah.
the sense that Colin went 3 and 3. It's only Austin's that's left team rigged.
Yep, that is confirmed. Next up, we've got the brother derby, which is big. Reed did get the leg up on you last time, and is obviously putting his chips forward into that matchup. You did not rest last week.
Shy guy.
No.
What is your team?
Um,
We have a Mario. That's a guaranteed. Is that what you just said out loud, Colin?
Yeah, no one in the entire MLS has more than 3 sidekicks with stamina.
Well, that's beautiful. Will Reed be running the did?
no.
So we got Mario Drybones Koopa Shy Guy versus Yoshi Toad Monty Shy Guy.
I will say I have one point of information on this. Reed has been submitting predictions each week. He's submitted one prediction so far for week 6, and it's just to predict himself. He didn't predict any of the other games. He predicted himself.
And he never predicts games, right? He just does names.
He just does names. He's currently second in the standings, though.
I'm gonna go Reed in 3 here, based off that intel. But Reed burned me this past week off lineups, but this time he barely has a choice. Ham, what's your call? I'm hoping he's deep in thought.
I am. Give me myself in 3.
Respect.
I don't love it.
I mean, Mario is
What is it?
undefeated, so
Yeah.
you got to protect him. Colin?
I'm going to go Reed in 3.
Dan?
I'm also going to go Reed in 3.
Fuckers.
I'm sorry,
That's what
Hamilton.
we
The
forgotten.
confidence to only put himself as the single winner on his sheet this week it won me over.
What if he's just gone through and done that every week? He just
He
pre-filled
didn't.
out.
I checked, actually. I checked to see if he had done that, and he didn't.
Oh, man.
Just a statement right there.
Colin versus Garrett. Oh, Colin. Colin.
Unless I make a waiver move, then we're running Daisy. We're running Daisy, Hammer Bro, Dry Bones, Boob.
Wait, what do you mean unless, Colin? You get first dibs on whether or not you're making that waiver move.
Well, it would be if I decide to. Also, Jake's ahead of me on the waiver.
Oh, is he?
But yeah, because I've made a move already.
There's just such a win-win trade on the books here. But literally Garrett can run Bake Ziti if he wants. So I think I gotta go baked Zedian too. We'll see if he does it, but he literally has it in his pocket. Ham, what's your pick?
Garrett 2.
Do you think is that a baked Zedi or Garrett?
Just a Garrett. I don't think it really matters right now. Sorry, Colin.
Get the orange marker out.
Is that Garrett or baked Zedi?
Garrett.
Dan, what's your call?
Bring the orange marker
Oh
out.
my god, this is a crazy week. We got
Make it a double.
two guarantees. Oh, we're gonna look so foolish if Colin secures a trade and he trots out. Now he doesn't even have the did lineup.
I don't even have the did lineup.
He's chalk no matter what. Oh boy, I'm glad.
Colin, have you considered trying to move instead of your pieces to get did? Have you considered trying to move pieces to give Reed the did lineup and make your team better without the did lineup?
I don't know what my issue is because that would mean I'm getting sidekicks, and I don't know what sidekicks I'd even want.
Valid.
I like the sidekicks that I have. They're just in theory.
and that would mean that he's giving Reed Hammer Bro.
Dry bones. I'd be giving, or he has dry bones. I'd be giving him Hammer Bro to get what, a Monty off that I could get off free agency.
Yeah, that does not make any sense. Colin's sidekicks are already pretty much optimal. The man, there's no hope for him other than the did.
I mean, my next question then is like, if you are Reed, why on earth would you give up the did for Daisy?
Because he could get a dry bones with it.
Was that deal packaged?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's I mean I think that is a gimme for both captains.
Sorry.
In my opinion.
In my conversations with Colin, I was asked to stay out of this trade, and so I respected that. And when Reed texted me about it, stayed out of the trade. And so I was just curious of what the actual trade was.
Yeah, I think if I were Reed, I would demand pretty much dry bones. But if he could get Daisy double dry bones, I think that is significantly better than whatever lineup he's running out there with did. At this point, he's got to just be in it for the Nintendo hat, which is fair. Myself versus Danny. I'm going myself in 3. Normally, I would actually talk more about this because I don't know. Danny, are you a regular pod listener?
I do listen typically to the pod.
Okay, well that's good intel for me to have in the future. Normally I'd talk more on this, but also too, I think I've already said out loud that Danny and I think we both know what we're getting into. It's gonna be a slugfest. I'm pretty much just running Reed's team that beat him last year. We're gonna ban each other's best maps, and it's gonna be a battle for the middle. I will say I was going through my map odds, and it's just impossible going against Danny. Even if you like include last season, he has like a positive win percentage on everything. So it's just not fair. But Ham, what is your takeaway in this game?
I'm sorry, but the boy's undefeated. And I mean undefeated. So give me Danny in 2.
I mean, he has taken a game loss. But
yeah, I lost one game.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Or one
game's the right word.
Match within a set. Yeah, I would say game's correct. I'm undefeated in matches.
I'm also stating right now, I've been trying to think of a good word to describe losing in 3 and what getting that point is. And I think I like SDL for like sudden death loss.
I like that.
Bonus point.
What'd you say, Colin?
I said bonus point.
I think I like SDL more than I like bonus point.
I like SDL a lot
because it's like it's a win loss and then a sudden death loss. So Danny, in terms of the stat sheet though, he's just 5-0-0. Insane. Because you don't get penalized at all for winning in 3. Colin, what's your pick here?
Give me Dan. Give me 2. He's got Dry Bones 8, and he's got Markley available.
Fair enough. Dan?
I'm gonna take me in 3. Austin and I pretty much always go the distance. It's always high scoring, and we typically go to the max number of games we can. So I'll go in 3.
I respect it. I'm hoping for a better series than we had earlier. Now that I got that trash off my team.
Yeah, that was
freaking-
the one exception, but Wario's terrible. So
He did, I will say with all the trash that I talked about Wario, he did put up a good individual performance against me this week. He literally single-handedly made that a series.
yeah, very true.
Adam versus Jaco. Now, if you guys are right that Jacob is going to be climbing, this is where it has to begin. And he literally can't fuck this up. He's got Yoshi, Hammer Bro, Monty, Koopa. He's just got to sit back, let his previous map picks ban Wasteland, and he's chilling. So I think I got to go Jaco. I think Adam probably lets Vanilla through as well, so I'm gonna go Jacob in 2. Ham.
Jacob in 3.
I will also state that Adam is going to run the did lineup the week after this, but he cannot run it this week. Unless actually the boo sneaks in there. But I will be playing the did lineup twice, most likely. Colin?
I'm just. This kind of, for me, depends on if Jaco submits a lineup or not. I think he wins no matter what. It's just 2 or 3. He hasn't submitted a lineup on. He got one in 2 weeks ago, very last second. Didn't get one in this week. If he doesn't submit one, we are going to get a defensive Mr. Monty who can get it done from there, but I don't think it's optimal. I'm going to go Jaco in 3.
I think that's respectable. Danny?
I'm gonna go Jaco in 3 as well.
It's orange.
It's
No,
orange.
It's yellow.
there's a Jaco. For
Oh.
Jaco in 2 it is not orange.
Yeah. Plus, it would have been you guys all went 3 games anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think that's probably as much of a guarantee as the other ones. At least should be. Like you said, kind of the main consideration is Jacob's lineup, but I think
Yeah.
what if he doesn't do anything, he still wins definitively. Freddie versus Eric. I'm gonna have to take a look at what's available for this one.
Eric's running Petey, Shy Guy, Boo, Birdo. Freddy's got options. Freddy can run anything except his hammer, bro.
I'm gonna pose this question to the table. What do we think is a good lineup for Waluigi other than triple dry bones?
Triple dry bones.
I'd have to look at what Fred was running towards the end of the season last year. 'Cause he was getting it done.
That's true.
There's triple dry bones, wasn't it?
No,
I was
last
thinking
Oh wait,
season,
last
not
year.
season. Yeah.
Because last year he redeemed himself in the back half, and I don't remember
forgot.
what he
Yeah.
did, but by the end of the season he was cooking.
I forgot about that.
It was against spellcasters.
Whoa. Relax.
He won a playoff game.
Against Grant?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Or maybe Reed. I don't remember.
it was Grant. Okay. And Fred has Bowser Jr. available. Ham, if you're Fred, do you run Bowser Jr. here?
No, I don't think he does.
Save it.
I think he likes Waluigi too much.
Okay. Well, with that wisdom, I'm gonna go Eric. I'll go 3 because I think that Freddy has some solid lineups. Ham, what is your pick then?
I think that Petey's bad per Colin, and therefore Eric doesn't get the win done, and Freddie in 3.
Fair enough. He does have a 70% win percentage in SPL.
Nope. Still bad.
And it's like 5th in goals per game. But yeah, bad. You said Freddie in 3.
Freddie in 3.
Colin, what's your pick?
I don't know. Part of me is like PD sucks. Part of me is also like Eric's PD's fine.
Don't listen to that part of you. PD sucks. Through and through.
Probably just to piss me off. PD will go insane and Eric will win in 2, but I'll give it Eric in 3.
Very reasonable. Danny?
If I would do Fred in 3 if I thought he would bring out Bowser Jr., but because I think he'll bring out Waluigi, I think I'm going Eric in 3.
Eric stays on the chase. Colin, did you find that Waluigi lineup yet?
Oh no, I didn't really look, to be honest.
Okay, that is totally cool. I do think that's probably Fred's key, is he needs to find something that works for
Playoff
Waluigi.
Fred ran Waluigi, Monty, Hammerbro, Koopa.
So it's lots of shooting.
I'd say it's pretty much what I run most of the times, except with Waluigi instead of Bowser.
Yeah, which means you just need to surround him by goal scorers and then hope that he mega strikes you into the game. But Hamilton defends the guarantee there. We almost went loaded up on guarantees. Last week, Colin went 4 for 6, and Hamilton went 2 for 6. I went 3 for 6. So
I have the full season standings if you want them.
I just need to pull that up. That's a separate thingy.
Oh, I have them.
Okay, you want to read it out?
Sure. I'm 16-8. Reed 11-7 off the pod. Ham and Austin both 12 for 12, or 12 and 12.
12
So
for
50%.
12, baby.
Like the sound of that.
And then Garrett, unqualified predictor, went 4-2 last week. Dave, also unqualified, is 6-6.
And they miss. Is it if you're 6 games spread, you got one more miss before you're out of commission? Correct?
You would need to predict. Oh, that's not how that works. There's what, 6 games times 10 weeks. So 60 games, you need to predict 30 total. So anyone still in could get up to there if you predict every week, and then if you're at 6, you can miss one more. But you need to get to 30 total.
I'll say, well, I think we have a separate golden picker for the pod versus the non-pod. Just because you said it.
Oh, wow.
I've said it. I'll say what?
This season we do that. After Eric robbed me last season.
But he was on the pod.
No.
Don't
Yes,
make
it was,
sense.
I'm aware.
I think that it should just go.
What if it's the same person for both? Because right now, if your boy can't win on the field, he can win in the Preds.
Can't get the golden trophy, but he can win the golden picker.
Just wait, Colin. Eric's coming for you. When
Eric
you
would have
least
to-
expect it.
Eric is gonna be disqualified unless he puts picks in this week.
He'll do it.
That is pretty cool that everyone is 50% or better.
Yeah.
Some ball knowers, because I don't even feel bad about being 50%, but that's literally everyone.
I wonder if
Season
he
1,
took
we were
out-
over the moon if we were above 50%.
Yeah, but
Say,
that was
season-
also.
I feel like we know a lot more than we did in season 1 now. In
I
terms
bet
of
we
what
would all
matchups
look
we
really
like.
good if you took away all the times people predicted me to win.
Oh, I'm sure we'd be killing it.
Colin's actually dragging everyone else down in the predictions on purpose. It's all to win the golden predictor.
That's all that matters.
Throwing on field so he can get golden predictor.
But that is
I
it
didn't want to
for
get promoted.
the halfway point in the season. It's all downhill from here. We'll see how things play out, but thank you to anyone listening out there, and thank you to everyone for hopping on. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
Pleasure.